What's up, beautiful people? So today we are locking back in on our health. This is a topic that's going to keep popping up on my channel because it's that important. You are going to be the healthiest that you've ever been before, y'all, because it is a non-negotiable. As we march into the remainder of this year and at this season of your life, health is wealth. And so today we're going to be talking about all things health related. We're going to be talking about meal prep and nutrition, which is really the key and the foundation. We're going to be going through a super easy recipe, and hopefully this video is going to give you the tips, the tools, and the reminders to move forward and make sure that your health is as strong as possible. So let's go ahead and get started. So I want to talk to you about what I'm doing and what my focus is on for this year. And it's actually a little bit different than it has been in the past. And that's primarily because I really don't need to lose a lot of weight. What I really need to do is lean out and tone up. But more importantly, after recovering from my injury, I have just really understood the emphasis of mobility and why that is going to contribute to your longevity. And when I say mobility, I don't necessarily mean, y'all, that you can get into like a pretzel position, but I am talking about being able to fluidly move up and down the steps, walk from one place to the next place without losing your breath. I'm talking about being able to bend over and pick something up without straining yourself. I'm talking about just the quality of life that all of us deserve. I have my days where I don't feel like working out, but where I really need to tighten up on and really lock into is nutrition, what I'm putting in my body. So today we're going to be making a ground beef bowl with some broccoli, some sweet potato, some avocado, all the goodies that are so essential for your body. And you know me, I'm not a fan of cooking. So the recipe that we're actually going to go through is not going to take more than 20-25 minutes, and it is going to fill you up, which is another thing. You want to be making sure that you're filling your body full of fiber and all of those goodies. Okay, so let's talk about what's gonna go in here. First, I'm gonna put some lean ground beef. So we're gonna go ahead and turn on the skillet. If you've ever watched any of my videos, y'all, I don't cook anything without drizzling it in olive oil. I don't even know why, it's just me. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn the heat on for that. Okay, so I got the ground beef cooking, and now I am going to get a bowl, take that ground beef out, put it to the side, and in this skillet, I'm gonna put broccoli frozen and frozen sweet potatoes. Of course, a little bit of olive oil. So once we take the ground beef and put that to the side, what I'm gonna do is just grab any bag of frozen sweet potatoes and pretty much frozen broccoli. I'm gonna saute those in a pan with about a tablespoon of water and just let those kind of cook down. I don't like them very mushy. And then while that's doing it, y'all, throw a bag of microwave rice in the microwave, or if you want to cook it on the stove, this one just takes 3 minutes. It's brown rice from Trader Joe's. And then what I'm going to do is create a base. So I'm going to put brown rice at the base of the bowls. And then I'm just going to take those vegetables and I'm going to put them right on top of the brown rice. And this does not get mushy during the week. And what I like about it is I feel like the vegetables on top of the brown rice just actually preserve it. And y'all, this is super healthy. Like, we're going to scoop that ground beef in. You can use ground turkey, ground chicken, or your choice of meat. But the goal here for me is to create an increase of protein. And because there is no meal for me in my world complete without cheese, I'm just sprinkling a little bit of Romano and Asiago cheese on it just to get that additional protein. And just like that, we're done. And I'm going to go ahead and seal my containers up for the day. And then I'm going to actually put a little bit of Greek yogurt off to the side to mix in later on this week just for that additional protein. And voila, we're done. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm also going to make my snacks, and I always take almonds with me. I don't like to take the whole container to work just in case I don't have enough discipline. So I'm going to go ahead and weigh out some almonds, put these in some Ziploc baggies, and that will be also my snacks for the next 2 to 3 weeks, or excuse me, next 2 to 3 days. So one of the first tools we're going to talk about is using things that you already have at your disposal, and that is your insurance. Y'all, you don't know because you don't know because I didn't know. I go to work every day and I've been working hard for a long time. And of course I pay my premium all the time on my insurance. I had no idea that my insurance covered things that I didn't even know about. Yes, you can go to the doctor, and we'll talk about that and the importance of that later in the video. But there's also access of things. Like, think about celebrities. They always have like a nutritionist and a dietitian and a personal trainer. Well, first of all, your insurance can cover a lot of those things. You just don't even realize it. And one of the things that I'm super excited about is being able to sit down down and actually consult with a dietitian with my insurance for free. And I was able to do that with partnering with Nourish. Nourish is a company that does exactly that. You're able to use your insurance, you all, and for $0 for most plans, you're able to sit down and consult with a nutritionist. First of all, the sign up for the appointment, I literally did it while I was getting my hair done under the dryer. It wasn't invasive. They asked me simple questions. I was able to answer the questions, and then I was able to pick the dietitian that I wanted. So I was able to pick someone that I felt like would be able to connect with me, and I found the perfect person. Shout out to Sadie. And she really sat down and she took her time with me, y'all. And one of the things about sitting down with a dietitian and someone whose job is you're able to tell them about your weight, your goals, the things that you like, the foods you don't like, your habits, your sleep patterns, y'all. And when I tell you the ahas that she gave me that I would have never thought about, probably the biggest aha was that I am under fueling, which means I'm not eating enough calories. Hello. She was literally like, you need to eat a bigger breakfast, because part of the problem is you're having this smoothie. It's not filling you up, then you're hungry later, and then you may be snacking and you're just not satiated. Girl, when she told me I could start having high protein, high fiber breakfast, I love breakfast, but that's not something I would have ever thought, because I would be thinking caloric deficit, let me eat as light as possible. And so just that alone was just really worth the time and the energy. So if you're someone that's been putting off taking care of yourself, or you didn't realize that your insurance could do this for you, I'm going to leave the link in the comments down below on how you can access Nourish. It was very non-committal, and more importantly, it was able to get me the information that made sense for Diaka, and I definitely suggest you do the same. So you can see it's easy, it's high in protein, very, very easy to do, and also very inexpensive. So I have it made for 3 days. I probably could have got 4 days out of it, but by the third day, I'm good. I don't want to be eating something 4 days in a row. That's just me and my preference. So now that we have our lunch meal prep, let's talk about movement. All right, sis. Now that we have talked about nutrition, which I purposefully made sure that was the first part of the video, let's talk about movement. And yes, I'm in my she shed because I'm getting ready to work out, but I want to take a moment to talk to you about what movement is and what movement isn't. And I think the first thing you have to ask yourself is how you feel about movement. There are people who genuinely love working out. There are people who genuinely despise working out. There are people who genuinely don't like working out, but after they work out, they always feel empowered and feel ready to go. You have to find where you are on the movement scale. I would consider myself someone that does like working out when it comes to doing the things I like. If I'm running, I enjoy that. When I'm done running, I feel great. I don't mind running. It is my favorite of all of the activities to actually do. Upper body for me is the easiest thing to do, so I'm not really a fan of doing it, but it doesn't feel nearly as strenuous as full body, lower body, which is what I'm about to go do. And so you've got to first ask yourself how you feel about movement. And then once you find out how you feel about movement, you've got to talk about and convince yourself, or what are the things that align with how I feel about movement that I can actually enjoy doing. And the only way you're going to know what you enjoy doing is also trying different things. Look, I know some of you are like, I like the elliptical machine. I like to go run. I like strength training. I like Pilates. What I would really encourage you to do is try a little bit of everything, especially if you're not someone that is dedicated to one particular component of movement. For me, the foundation of what I'm going to do is always going to be running, as long as my body is able to do it. But one of the things that I'm actually giving a try is Pilates. I'm gonna give it a little gander just to see. My daughter does it. Now my daughter has nowhere near, we are not built even closely the same way, but that little tiny little bird is toned, and I'm looking at her and it's all about Pilates, you know, and it's a lot harder than you think, number one, but that doesn't matter. The point is that I'm open to trying new things. And because the thing is, when you stick to the same thing all the time, that's sometimes where you don't see results. But I will say this, if you are doing something that is working for you and you like it, I don't care if you've been doing it for 5 years, don't mess with the program. There's no reason to fix what's not broken. But what I am saying, especially for those of you who need a little bit of encouragement with movement, to go ahead and try different things. And with movement, it is always and should never be about trying to compete with your neighbor. It should never be about trying to compete with who you see on the internet. You should never be trying to compete with me or anybody that you watch here on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, wherever you're watching. It should always be you're only in competition with yourself. Me, Diaka, I'm only in competition with myself. If I'm trying to improve my time, I'm not looking at anybody else's time. I'm looking at Diaka's time. If I want to try to increase my weight, I'm not looking at anybody else's progress. I'm going back and looking at mine. And the thing that I'm really also going to encourage you to do with movement is film yourself as much as possible. It may be uncomfortable at first. It may be a little awkward. But I am telling you, when you catch glimpses of your body as you start to see it evolve, as you start to see your abs fill in, as you start to see your muscles get stronger, as you start to zip up the pants and they become a little bit looser, having pictorial evidence on those days where you do not feel motivated and you think it's not working is absolutely phenomenal to have. Sometimes I will go back and I will look at a picture and I will think that the day that I took that picture, I was out of shape. And then I'll be like, bring me back to that picture. My point is, your progress is not defined by the number of the scale. As a matter of fact, I'm also going to encourage you to do your best to start pulling away for what that number means. Now, I'm all for data and I'm all for a goal. And there are certain numbers that inform me. And I've talked about this in videos before. I have what I like to call a zone of safety. There is a number that when I hit that number on the scale, that is the warning number for me. That's like the number, hey, you may want to step back. You may want to think about what you're doing, because this number is not where you want to be. And then I have a number on the other end. If I'm in that number, it's probably not going to be sustainable, and I'm probably training for something, or this is one of those times in my life where I'm just so locked in and that number is like a great number to be. I don't know that I'll stay at that number. That's happened 3 or 4 times where I've hit a certain number. Usually if I get down to a size 6 dress, that's usually like I'm living my best life. Now, will I stay there? Probably not. And I'm just being very realistic because I need to be with you. I'm probably going to creep back up to an 8. But my point is that I'm okay with that. I don't care what the number says. I care how I feel, how my clothes fit. So find movement that resonates with you. And when you find that movement, lock in on it. Move your body a minimum of 3 to 5 times a week. In fact, I'm going to say, and I don't want to quantify anything, I don't think you should be working out less than 4 times a week, because that still gives you 3 days to rest, whether it's active recovery or complete rest. As I've shared with you all before, I never work out on Mondays, and I think that is a perfect plan for me because I love starting the week slow. And my second rest day is usually Friday. So not working out Monday and not working out Friday just really works for me. But you do what works for you, but movement is a must.
On my count. Come on. Squat down. Just the parallel, not below. Come up. Squat down. Come up. Squat down. Come up. Squat down.
Okay, so workout is complete. And so before we close out this video, there are 2 more things I want to mention that are so important. And I've mentioned this in my other videos, but definitely making sure you're keeping up with your medications, your appointments, all of those things that I talked about in the last video. Like, if you heard me in the last video and you're like, oh, I'm gonna make that doctor's appointment, I'm gonna go get that checked, and you still haven't done it, think of this as your official sign that the universe is nudging you to go take care of your business. And then the last thing, y'all, is, and it goes without saying with your health, is your mental health. Y'all, whether it is your spiritual health, your mental health, whether it's meditation, whether it's prayer, whether it's reading, whether it's quiet, I am never going to encourage you to lock in on your physical health if you haven't taken care of your emotional health. Because quite honestly, I just don't even see how you could work out, you could do all the things, you could be in the best shape of your life. But if you are unhappy or you're not where you need to be in the space mentally, it doesn't even matter. So I'm always going to tell you to exercise your mental health and your spiritual health before you do your physical health, but I believe that simultaneously it should be a partnership. Because you could be in a great place mentally and terrible place physically. You could be in a great place physically and a terrible place mentally, but the most powerful version of you is in a good place physically and is a great place mentally. So as always, I want to thank y'all for clocking in and pouring time and energy into your health, and I can't wait to continue to see what this year brings when it means you and your well-being. As always, I'll see you in the next video.